Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to see all of you. And actually, as I looked around the group, I actually think I know a bunch of you. My friends at Rancho Cucamonga, a lot of you are here that I've been able to meet over the last almost a year now. I've been working in the city. I also have one of my favorite students of all time, and that's Anna. I knew her as Tam. Anna took one of my classes and endured 15 weeks of this kind of stuff. At any rate, Anna's there, and then I want to congratulate MMASC for taking the time to work on really important topics, because it's real easy to get caught up in our deadlines and our tasks and not spend the time on ourselves, which is actually where the real effectiveness in organizations is found, is in the development of ourselves. And last, I'd just like to compliment Amy and Andrew on their presentations. I thought it was very nice, very genuine, and it was very real. And I appreciated their sincerity and their willingness to expose themselves a little bit in that way. Now, my role here probably is a little different than that. I'm not even going to pretend that I understand what life-work balance is. I don't pretend to know. I maybe know the questions, and that's what I want to share with you today. But in reality, that's the eternal question, and it's one of many eternal questions that all of us wrestle with and struggle with every day. And so what I hope to do is share with you that in reality, life is paradoxical. So I'm going to broaden this question of life-work balance into something that hopefully I will help you identify that you have many life-work balance or polarities to deal with in life and make decisions, and I just want to do a little bit to try and help you with those. Because each day, each one of us is confronted with these sea of paradoxes and polarities and dilemmas, and they're a little hard to think about. You're probably all sitting there going, what's he talking about? And I can appreciate that. But let me just give you a couple of really easy ones. The first one is yes, and the opposite of yes is? See? It's a quick group. How about go? Stop. Right. Well, there's just two examples. Every day we make choices about how we're going to manipulate our way through the world. Go, stop, yes, no, black, white, whatever. We're going to figure that out. But often we're unconscious of those polarities and those differences and those opposites. And so what I want to do today is help you get really conscious of some of those things. And to do that, I provided you with a copy of some writing by Lao Tzu. It's a poem. It's a chapter in Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. And I'd like you all to take a few minutes and read that to yourselves. And then I'm going to ask you what you think it means. Grinding. Any thoughts or observations about what the sage one is offering you? Yes.
I think it's basically saying adversity is a part of life, and it's actually not a bad thing because it helps you to appreciate more all the good things.
Okay. What else?
There are opposites in life, and part of living life is striking a balance. We don't always see balance, but
okay, good.
Right.
Another good answer. Any other observations? Anybody want to know what the 10,000 things rise and fall without cease means? It's basically the external world. It's all the tangible stuff in the world. That's what that refers to in the poem. What else? What does this poem suggest to us? Yes?
Well, I noticed you practice the no talking. that we have to be silent and read through the piece, and that sometimes silence or not taking action is just as valuable as being busy all the time.
Exactly. Sometimes activity isn't producing anything.
It's also about contrast. That without light, you can't have dark. Without noise, you can't have silence. So it's to look for the contrast in life to appreciate the things that stand out.
Okay, one more? Those are all great. Yes, ma'am.
It kind of, when I read it, I was thinking you couldn't possibly know what you currently have or where you want to be unless you've seen the other side.
Yes. You won't understand one side unless you understand the other side. So what the purpose of the reading of 2 is all about is to wake up to this sea of opposites, polarities, and dilemmas in which we exist. And that's why I say life is paradoxical. That's the nature of your existence. That's the nature of human existence. And it is certainly the nature of organization life. So there are opposites and polarities, and our tasks as human beings, as leaders, as parents, as siblings, whatever, is to constantly first recognize that there are these polarities and opposites in the world that we need to manage, to confront the choices among those opposites and polarities that we are dealing with, and to have the courage to make a decision around how to place yourself amongst those dilemmas and those opposites and those different polarities, and to live with the consequences. So, for example, when Andrew says, I made a decision to go home at 5 o'clock, he made a choice about one of the ways to balance his life. And it's a choice that works for him, and apparently it's a choice that works for his work environment. And that's terrific, because that's an example of how to make those choices. If polarities and a paradoxical life are the journey we're on, then what knowledge, skills, and capabilities and talents do we need as people, as individuals, as leaders, to lead ourselves and our organizations through that environment? And so you might think, well, I'm not sure. Well, I have good news today. I have the answer. Well, the answer is there is no single answer. That's the only certainty I provide you today. First and always, to quote my friend Anna, it's situational and it depends. But frankly, there are some basics that will help us as we work our way through some of those opposites and dilemmas. So let's explore that. Let's start